6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Through Black and White Eyes for the match review. Even though City won, the lads have bottled it. I thought they were going to commentate the Mick. They've not even bothered turning up. Martin and crew, what is going on? I understand, Martin. Come on, Pat. You should be awake now. It's fresh in the morning, eating your cornflakes in Australia. Anyway, welcome to the match review from last night. Please like, subscribe, hype the show after to promote the channel. It really does help. It's all free. It really is. It doesn't cost a penny. You can become a member if you want to. We donate the money to charity, as you all know. We're over £11,000 donated since the channel started, and there's more to come. Mike's made it in the chat. Well done, Mike. Congratulations on the win. Don't tell me what to do, Les. You're not my real mum. Okay. Scotty's going to be on. It was a good game yesterday, especially the first half. Yeah, for you, the first half was good. I enjoyed the second half a bit more. We didn't lose it, but we didn't win it, which would have been nice because then we would have got a point. But these things happen. Yep, I preferred the second half as well. Gary's in the house, just flying through all these so we can get our guests in, as always. We'll talk about the referee decisions because they were, well, quite frankly, appalling again. But they're always appalling these days, aren't they? Scott, so many of you. Harry's in the house as well. How are you doing, Harry? All right, okay. There we go. Right, let's bring Scott in. How are we doing, Scott?
Evening, gents. All okay?
Good, good. And we have Sir Elton of Wellsbury. Good evening.
Thank you for knighting me.
You're welcome. Deserved. So we are here to talk about the 2-1 defeat yesterday. Surprisingly, online hasn't been as bad as what I thought it was going to be. A lot of people actually saw the effort, the determination, the tactics almost worked, which we'll come on to. Yeah, I'm actually quite surprised. I was expecting to see all the Eddie Howe out rubbish again, but there we go. No. Come on, you can't say the ref was crap for both teams when you got the majority of the decisions, the big ones. Yeah, what were your initial thoughts, Scott, when you saw the lineup? I
was really happy with. Do you know, like he was brave, made some big decisions. Yeah, I was really happy with it. Do you know about yourself?
Yeah, I predicted it. Yeah. Apart from, I thought Baltimore might have got a rest and Ramsey would have come in for him, but he went for Ramsey for Willock instead. Is that right?
Yeah.
Someone came in. Oh, Barnes. Sorry, for Barnes. I was expecting Barnes to play. I was a bit surprised he wasn't.
He didn't have a mind, did he?
Yeah, no. Still the unusual bars, but their heads out the toilet bowl. Elton, looking at the Newcastle team, were you a bit surprised how we're setting up these days? It's a big change since we were at the Hill Dickinson Stadium when we played you. It's a very
well, not really. I wasn't really surprised at all. I was pleased to see Lewis Hall, playing because he had a marvelous game at the Hill Dickinson, and a player who I thought, I'm going to watch this boy, and he didn't disappoint. Got a goal, of course, didn't he?
Yes.
I thought, overall, you finished the game very strongly. And I don't think it was a coincidence that coincided with Joe Linton coming on. He played very energetic when he came on, wasn't he? And I thought it lifted Newcastle. And I thought the game was there to get a point out of, to be honest with you, towards the end. Harvey Barnes very nearly got one, didn't he? But for a brilliant save from Donnarumma.
Good save. He shinned it a little bit, didn't he? The strike, because
considering the week you've had, the travelling that you've had this week, I thought that the fact that you finished the game very strongly spoke a lot about the team's fitness and camaraderie. I was very impressed. I was very impressed. Can I just add one thing, because you obviously want to talk about the referee? I thought Bernardo Silva should have been sent off.
Yeah, we'll come to that.
Because he was booked, and then shortly afterwards, I forgot who he just jumped into somebody. I've forgotten which player, which of the Newcastle players it was, but he just literally jumped into him with no eye on the ball. He was just taking him out, basically. Now, it wasn't a red card, but for me, it was certainly a yellow, and that would constitute him going off. Yeah, I was very surprised at that.
Well, we're not. The referees have been absent. Did you see well, you did see the refereeing performance in Newcastle Villa. It's just carried on from there. It's getting worse. Before it gets better.
we say that as well, by the way.
Yeah, well, we all do. I mean,
we think all officials are corrupt, etc., etc. When I say it's the royal we, the Evertonians who haven't got too much sense. They're not corrupt. They're not corrupt. They're just
poor.
They're just unlucky. Yes, there's that as well. And of course, relying on VAR. Yeah. Now if they make a mistake, then it's corrected, or it should be. Yeah, I don't mind referees making mistakes. I really don't. I can't abide it when VAR make mistakes, because they shouldn't. They've got the benefit of watching, 6 different camera angles, however long it takes to get to the right decision. And they not more often not, but occasionally, too often, they get it wrong. And I think that is unforgivable.
Yeah, I mean, there was a big one. I know it's off topic, but the Arsenal Tottenham game today, Tottenham's second goal got ruled out, which would have made it 2-2, because they said the striker pushed the defender out of the way, and he hardly touched him, and he went flying.
No, I saw that. That was ridiculous. Yeah,
exactly. And this is the thing. This is why people think it's corrupt, because it always happens when it's Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool. Liverpool score in the 97th minute. It's like when Liverpool want to score, we'll carry on playing. Blow the whistle straight afterwards.
Well, but I mean, they had a goal disallowed. The same player, McAllister, had a goal disallowed shortly beforehand. So, Liverpool fans have been saying, "Oh, they're corrupt, disallowing our late winner," and then they go and get a late winner, and the referee, the officials are all good guys.
Well, they cannot win, can they?
In the space of a few minutes,
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was 87th minute they scored, and then it was disallowed, and then the 97th minute they scored, it was allowed, and they won the game, didn't they? So, but anyway, their opening goal. I was a little bit disappointed when they pulled, because he got his hand to it, but it was a good strike. Yeah. And when you're right at the edge of the 18-yard box, and if you hit it well enough and it's in the corner, there's always a good chance, even if the keeper gets a decent hand to it, it's going to go in. And that's what he did. Do you think
the goalkeeper could have done better? He could have done better.
I thought he could have done better.
Yeah, you think he should have saved it? I don't want to be too critical, because I'm always critical of Nick Pope when I need to be.
No, I think he deserves a bit of criticism for it. He's made 2 blunders now, because I think the goal in the UCL as well could have been saved too.
Which one? Sorry?
The Karabag goal.
See, I don't think he's.
The first goal, if you're looking for something that went wrong, you need to look a bit earlier. You were defending very high up, almost on the halfway line, when it broke. Yes. Now, if you're going to defend like that, you need to have somebody with express pace in the what was a flat back 4. I don't know. Shaw made a decent effort to get back and prevent it happening. But he didn't look to me like he had lightning pace.
No, Shaw's not really quick, but he's quickish. But the problem is, Dan Burn next one was like a bus.
Well, exactly. You could certainly rule Burn out of doing what should have been done, and that really
is on the right hand side, and he's got no pace either.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So-
if you're going to do that, you need a player with a lot of pace.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is where maybe Eddie gets it wrong a little bit sometimes. When he plays a high line, he forgets that he's expected to keep the ball high up a lot. But then when we lose it, he forgets that the players aren't quick enough to get back all the time.
Yeah.
It's okay when
Can I just say,
Tino's doing it. Yeah.
In the great Everton team of 84 to 87, I don't know whether you two remember, it was a fantastic team, and we defended high up because we had Kevin Ratcliffe, who was, well, I haven't seen a quicker, maybe Van Veen at Spurs, but I still wouldn't put him in the same category as Ratcliffe. But Ratcliffe was really, I mean, he would have given Usain Bolt a run for his money. He was that quick. So you could defend that high up, halfway line. And if the ball was played beautifully over the top or inside the foot, Ratcliffe will get back.
Yeah. And I mean,
just a minor point.
Yeah. There's a good point in the second half. That'll back that up as well. What City did, but yeah, they go 1-0 up. I mean, our heads didn't go down though, which was nice. I mean, I went online and all you could see was, oh, they expected to do this.
Listen, sometimes you guys you're too close to it and you feel it too much. I'm watching this as a neutral, and I thought Newcastle come away with a lot of credit marks. In that game,
I mean, the one thing we did very well is we put good set pieces in, and that's where City have struggled a little bit, and that's where our goal comes from. We put a great corner in, and it's not cleared properly. It falls to Lewis Hall, and we know Lewis Hall can hit a ball, but he only does it in Manchester. He scored 2 against Man United. Yeah, he scored 2 against Man United in his career, and he scored 1 against City now. So he's collecting those big goals against big teams quite nicely.
I wish we had him.
Yeah,
I wish we had him, Baz.
He is definitely should go to the World Cup and should play for England as number 1 left.
His only problem there is, well, if he gets on the plane, possibly, but I think that O'Reilly, the guy that ultimately killed you off the other night, I think he'll get that slot because he can play just about anywhere.
Yeah,
he's almost like a Dutch player in the 60s, the 60s and early 70s, total football. He would have fit into that Johan Cruyff team that went to the World Cup final in '74. He would have slotted in there perfectly.
He's a lovely player, but Pep's turned him into a midfielder, hasn't he? Lewis Hall can play in midfield as well, though. He's been converted from midfield
on the bus. I mean, get on the bus. Get on the plane to America by all means. I don't think he'd let England down if he played.
No,
definitely
but I just feel that O'Reilly will get that berth.
Yeah, it'll be interesting what he does because obviously Pep's turned him into a midfield maestro at the moment. So I think Lewis Hall's is more sensible left back than what O'Reilly is potentially. Maybe I don't know. But it was a good goal. It was a good, decent strike. It did take a deflection, and it obviously Donnarumma's got no chance of saving it. And I went nuts because I was just like, this is what we wanted to see. This is the reaction that we wanted. There's a natural midfielder. There we go. So this is from Mike, a City fan who watches them a lot. Bus and reverse about Dan Burn. Could City have done better to stop our goal? I mean, it was a great cross in. The goalkeeper flapped at it a little bit.
I don't think so. I think
Hall nicely.
Yeah. No, I think Donnarumma was getting nowhere near it. So
yeah,
I don't think so. It was a good ball in. Took a big deflection.
It was a crowded penalty area, and if you whack the ball in as hard as Lewis did, there's always a chance it could take a deflection. It could, bounce 20 yards away from the danger zone. But as it turned out, it didn't. It just took a flick, and as Scotty said, Donnarumma didn't have a chance with that.
Didn't.
That's fair enough. That happens. That's football.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it was great for us. It's happened against us so many times against City, so it's nice for us to do it to them. Unfortunately, our joys were very short-lived because 5 minutes later, City carved us open. I was a bit disappointed with this goal, but I think it's a very good goal from City's point of view because they played the ball around us very well.
They fooled you. They fooled you.
Yeah, they did. And
yeah,
that slide ball down the right-hand channel to Haaland was brilliant. His cross was superb. And no one was marking O'Reilly. Someone was blaming Chow, and I was like, no, Chow was marking another defender. It was Alanga who watched O'Reilly just drift in on his own.
No one would have known what to do because they're thinking, hang on a minute, Haaland shouldn't be there. He should be inside, waiting for the cross to come in. Yeah. O'Reilly should have been passing to Haaland. I can see how it must have totally confused the defenders. Again, it was from open play, so you don't really have zonal marking. But I could see how your defenders were really confused, thinking, well, Haaland shouldn't be doing that.
Dan Burn wasn't sure where he needed to be because he's been marking Haaland, and Haaland was at the front post, wasn't he? And O'Reilly just took advantage of that big space in the middle, and it was a great cross. He dug it out well. I mean, I give Haaland a lot of stick when he plays against Newcastle because it's 9 games in a row now since he scored against us. I like to keep reminding City fans of that, but he come up with an assist.
For me, Baz, I would have had him as man of the match, to be honest.
Yeah, I
thought Haaland was man of the match ahead of O'Reilly, narrowly ahead of O'Reilly because of O'Reilly's goals. O'Reilly was terrific first half. He wasn't so much in the second. But Haaland throughout was an absolute handful for your guys.
But Haaland didn't bully Burn all game. It was 50-50, mate. Come on, give Burn some credit here. He took a chunk of Haaland, and their embrace at the end of the game showed each other the mutual respect that they both deserved.
Yeah. Oh, it was a good physical challenge between the two of them. Excellent,
It was like a little soap opera side story to the game, wasn't it? Watching them two fight for. I was just thinking, if you really want each other's shirt that much, just swap.
Just swap,
just take it at the end of the game, guys. There's no need to carry it on.
Yeah,
exactly. Burn definitely gave a good account of himself. I've got a picture to prove it. To be fair, right. Rules of the game. This is where the refereeing gets really frustrating for me, but it depends how you read the rule and whether you think it's a foul or not. So it's our equaliser that got ruled out. There's the 2-armed push on Burn.
Right.
So Burn was standing in an onside position until he was pushed before the ball was kicked, though, because it was just about to be put in. We're talking like seconds, probably less than that. From when the ball was kicked to when he did that. That's a 2-arm push. It's not a 1-arm push. It's not a little nudge. That is, you get into an offside position, pal. This is how the rule reads. So if the defender pushes the attacker into an offside position before the ball is played, and that push is considered a foul, there's the key line. Careless, reckless, or using excessive force, the foul is penalised because it occurred before any potential offside offence. If this happens inside the penalty area, the referee should award a penalty kick. So the key line is, and that push is considered a foul. So do we consider that a foul? And if we do, should we be seeing penalties every week, every 10 minutes when there's something going on in the penalty area?
I checked that at the time. And if a player is pushed into an offside position, he is offside. Now, I don't agree with the rule, but the going by the rule and the wording of it, I think that they were probably correct in their decision. But I think the rule is wrong because that is a foul. If that had happened in the centre circle, as people often say, if it hadn't been in or around the penalty area, it would be given automatically as a foul.
So the rule's right then. So if you consider the push as a foul, it should be a penalty kick. That's what the rule is. Is that a foul?
What I think what's happened here, Baz, is
Mm-hmm.
that they've ignored the fact that it was just a foul.
Yeah.
And they've adjudicated on whether your player was in an offside position at the time. If he was pushed into an offside position, he is still offside.
Yeah.
So I think the referee VAR were probably correct in disallowing it, but I think the rule is ridiculous if that's the case.
Well,
I think you were hard done by, but I think you were hard done by the rule itself, not so much by the referee or VAR.
I don't think the referee or VAR know the rule though, because if you read it again, if the defender pushes the attacker into an offside position before the ball is played, which is what we saw, and that push is considered a foul, the foul is penalised because it occurred before the potential offside offence. That happens inside the penalty area. The referee should award a penalty kick. So the rule is saying if that is deemed as a foul, that should be given as a penalty kick. Now, we're saying that's a foul, so the rule in writing is on our side.
If the push took place before the ball was in play, it will probably not be a foul. Because you see it at corner kicks, you see all kinds of pushing and
this is what I mean.
Church before the kick is taken. The referee might even say, calm down a bit. You two stop shoving each other, because if that happens once the kick has been taken, then I'll make a decision one way or the other, and award a foul either for the defensive team or for the attacking team.
But this rule is written in black and white that if a defender pushes attacker before the ball is played into an offside position, it's a penalty. You just got to deem whether the push is enough to be considered as a foul. So are we saying that push there is considered enough to be a foul or not?
I would say yes. I would say yes, it is.
The rule is a penalty then. So the referee and VAR have got it wrong.
Well,
they might not know the rule.
I'm afraid the rule is a nonsense then, because it's a fact that players get involved in tussles, shoving, pushing, tugging shirts, and all that sort of stuff when a corner kick's being taken. But if it's before the ball is actually in play, the referee can't penalise any of those players. Once the ball is in play, he can.
But if he's pushed
but the wording of this is almost contradicting.
To me, it's not, because what they're saying is if that push is pushed, if the player's onside and he's been physically pushed into an offside position, and that's what rules out the goal before the ball is kicked, they're saying you go back before the ball is kicked and you award a penalty because he's pushed the player into an offside position, i.e. fouling them. So the written rule to me is on Newcastle's side here. It's just the referees haven't enforced it that way. They're saying that push there on Dan Burn isn't a foul. That's what the referee and VAR are saying.
Well, that's ridiculous then, because it's how can it not be a foul? Cracky O'Reilly, do me a favour.
But again, I mean, Dan Burn came out and said after the game, I do it myself as well. So maybe we're lucky we haven't been given away anymore.
Everybody does it. Everybody does it.
Yeah. So it's an interesting rule, and I wasn't aware of this rule until last night, obviously. And someone put it up in black and white, and I read it, and I said, well, if they are deeming that push to be a foul, then that is 100% a penalty. But there's so many, as you mentioned, so many pushes, so many. I mean, even is that Ramsey there in the middle in front of Gordon? The Man City player's got an arm around him. You know, it happens all the time in corners and free kicks. It's just the fact that Dan Burn scored the goal and he's offside. But the only reason why he is offside is because the Man City player forced him into that position and pushed him.
I think possibly VAR looked at that with what I said in mind, that if a player is pushed into an offside position, he is still offside. Now that is a fact.
Yeah, that is a fact that he's offside.
But it also is a nonsense as well.
Yeah, exactly. But VAR should have pulled it back. If that push is deemed as a foul, that's the big question. And if we can say, yes, it's a foul, it should be a penalty kick. And that's
did they even look at that, Baz? Seriously, did they?
Probably
Were they looking at, is this a foul or is it not a foul? Or were they just looking and saying, is it offside?
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think the referee or VAR actually understand the rule that was actually in play last night. And all they've looked at is Dan Burns offside, so the goal's been disallowed. They have not even understood the rule. So
I think you're probably right. I think it's because you could apply two rules there, almost, and one would contradict the other. Yeah, like the ball not being in play or the ball being in play. They're just making a rub for their own back. I mean, because it's not clear. And that's the very fact that we've been talking about this for fully 5 minutes or so. Yeah. It's not clear.
It's interesting.
And that's one of the problems. That's one of the problems with football. Nothing is clear now. Handball, for example. I mean, what an absolute mess that is. What is handball? What is a natural position for an arm or an unnatural? But I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that. But this is written very well for me. And it stinks of VAR officials not understanding the rule, because it clearly says before the ball is kicked, if a player is pushed into an offside position, it should be awarded as a penalty because it's a foul. And that's what that basically says there. So it doesn't matter if the ball's in play or not. That clearly says that was a penalty. So we were, I think, very, very poorly done by on that occasion. And I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but it was a bit earlier in the game when Ramsey got taken down from behind from a tackle that I thought was just inside the box or on the line. And if it's on the line, it's a penalty. And VAR didn't even look at that. And I thought that was a stone waller, because literally the Man City player went right through the back of Ramsey, didn't touch the ball, and they played on. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, that's an absolute disgraceful decision. It should have been a free kick at least. But it is.
Because what could happen is next week, that same situation there, the push on Dan Burn will happen next week, and somebody will get a penalty for it. And then you'll be sat there going, well, why wasn't the new? That's what we want. We want consistency.
Yeah.
And we want our officials to know the rules.
Yeah. So he's going back to the one with Shaw here, where Shaw took out Foden. Now, you see this week in, week out in the Premier League. If the striker gets to the ball first and has a shot, and the defender takes him out afterwards, it's never a penalty, because the ball's out of play and he's got his shot away. And it's happened to us. It's happened to other teams. It's not a clear penalty. And we covered that on Mancunian way, and everyone agreed. Unfortunately, even though it's a horrible tackle, because in the middle of the park, it would have been treated differently, but because it's inside the box, it hasn't impeded his effort. It's not a penalty, even though it should be. VR checked it, but only to confirm the offside, not to look at the foul. So, yeah, exactly. So I just don't think they understood the rule. I really don't.
I think possibly after all the discussion we've just had, I think you're possibly right.
Yeah. And it's very, very, very frustrating. But we go into half time, and I mean, I was thinking, right, the game is still there for us. I mean, even on the first half statistics, they had 8 shots, we had 6. Our keeper makes 4 saves, their keeper makes 2 saves. We've given a good account of ourselves. And I thought the one thing that really changed the game in Man City's favour before Newcastle made changes was you brought Kushanoff on. Now, you were mentioning the Everton player with the pace. That's what Kushanoff's got. Ratcliffe. Kushanoff has got plenty of it. And Pep realised that when we were trying to get down the wings, they didn't have enough pace to cover. And when he came on, it got harder to break on them faster because Kushanoff was covering more ground than anybody else that was in the Man City back line. And that was a very, very, very tactical awareness of Pep as he is. But I also thought we made a great change as well at halftime. We thought, you know, when they got corners, we kept 2 up. Instead of having one player up and everyone else back in the box, we went, no, those defenders have cleared the lines. We've got 2 strikers up. If we can get the right pass off, we're going to get in on you. And it nearly worked a few times.
Yeah.
It didn't quite work. But, I mean, the game was opening up for City. You mentioned Joe Linton coming on. It was nice to see him back because he has been injured. That's the reason why we haven't seen him in the last few weeks. We saw him for, was it 10, 15 minutes on Wednesday night in Baku?
Yeah.
And it was nice to see him come on again. Kushnov was very good when he came on. I thought he showed up your defence and made it a lot harder for us to get in and around you. But I thought we were the better team the second half. We had more of the ball. I think Man City were a little bit rattled because they were winning. They wanted to hold on to the lead because they knew how important it was to get 2 points behind Arsenal before today. We all know what happened today, and it's now 5 points again. But at the time, it felt like they were nervous a little bit, and I think we sensed that. And I think we grew into the game. Our passing got better. But the one thing that let us down, and I don't know if you agree with this, Elton, but I thought our final third play in the second half was very sloppy.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
Was it?
But as I say, I reckon for the last, say, quarter of an hour, certainly about quarter of an hour before the end, I thought you were actually physically the stronger of the 2 sides, which I think is a great credit to Eddie and you know, and the players as well.
Considering we were in Baku on Wednesday, it didn't land till 4 o'clock on Friday morning, and then we had to go to Manchester and play at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night. It's not great preparation, is it?
You know, tremendous performance by the lads. You know,
absolutely. So Scott Elton mentioned it earlier on, the potential red card. I mean, I've seen it so many times on Twitter today and watched it. You know, Dan Burns looking at the ball. It's his. Then he's got a little midget 4 yards away who's not even looking at the ball because the ball's going over his head. He just runs at Dan Burn and jumps into him and sends him flying. And I'm this is where the referees again really frustrate me, because tell me how that's not a second yellow card.
Yeah, but I can't, because at the end of the day, he hasn't even got eyes on the ball. He's not even looking at the ball. He's just looking straight at Dan Burn and going, I'm taking you out. That's it. End of.
Yeah, I'm sticking one on you.
Yeah.
But isn't this where VAR, they can't intervene?
No.
Unless they thought it was a red card. If they thought it was a red card offence, they could have said, "Oh, ref, come on, have a look at this." You know. But because it clearly wasn't a red card offence, VAR can't intervene. It's crazy.
Yeah.
If VAR was quicker, could you get involved with more?
Yeah.
Is it the fact that VAR's taken a lifetime and a cup of tea to make a decision that they daren't let them get involved with anything more because we'll be there till the next day? That's the problem. So if VAR was quicker, could VAR not go, well, you need to see something there, and literally 30 seconds, Dan Burns being wiped out, go and have a look, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this is where it's frustrating, because personally, I don't think VAR should be making any decisions. They should be talking to the referees here and saying, we've seen something, we think it's naughty, go to the monitor, it's ready for you. And have a look at it and get it over and done with. You know,
do we need more monitors? So wherever the refs at the field, you can go to the nearest one and go, I need to look at that very quickly. I need to look at that very quickly.
As long as it doesn't spoil the viewing space of fans and things like that, then maybe, I don't know. But
I mean, I'm not a big fan of VAR, but
it was such a blatant yellow card.
It was a blatant yellow card. It was. I mean, not many people take Dan Burn out. I mean, he's 6 foot odd. Do you know what I mean? And then he, like you see, he's got this midget just take it. Like, he must have been going, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
it was hilarious to see it, to be fair, because I've never seen Dan Burn floored by Bernardo Silva before, so it was quite funny to watch it.
Actually, that's why I mentioned it right at the
Yeah.
top of the show, because I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a blatant a double yellow card sending off.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't do that.
No, you can't. And the worst thing is that Trippier got a yellow card in the second half, but when he pulled out of a challenge and never touched the lad who went down like a sack of potatoes on the left wing, and I'm thinking, well, he's jumped out with it. He's not even put his foot in it.
Why don't we call corruption? You wonder why we call corruption.
It's not corruption, that one. It was just poor officiating. That's the thing.
Well, other people will call it corruption.
They will.
It is poor. It's poor officiating. But you wonder why people jump online and go, "It's corrupt." Well,
the reason a lot of fans call it corruption is they can't think of anything else to say.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll call it corrupt. It's not. It's incompetence.
That's exactly
different.
That's exactly
Corruption gives the impression that they're on a backhander, doesn't it? That's the impression you get if you use the word corrupt.
Yeah.
It's not corrupt. It's just incompetence.
Incompetence.
Yeah.
I don't know which one I like more, corruption or incompetence, though. Not quite sure which one I'm happier with.
I like it. I mean, and I was the first to praise the referees when we played Spurs at their ground, because he spotted 2 blatant dives by Spurs players and give yellow cards for them. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? An official that knows what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? And we praise them, and then we see it for one game, and then you don't see it again. It's
Scotty was saying before, it's the consistency that we're desperate to see. But that's not going to happen unless you have the same referee every week,
Well, God forbid. They just need better. I don't know. I honestly still think, I don't know if you guys agree with this, right? The PGMLO need to start either recruiting better, punishing them more severely if they have poor games, or maybe they should be paid on performance. I don't know if something like that would work. I've
always felt that in VAR, in the setup of Stockley Park, there should be ex-pros in there. I've always thought that, because a referee doesn't know basically whether a player is having it on, or just deliberately doing a bit of gamesmanship to get a player sent off, whatever, which an ex-pro can spot straight away.
Yeah.
So whereas I can see why we have VAR, I don't like it personally. I would scrap it completely. Yeah, but as we have got it, then let's utilize it properly. And I think there needs to be ex-pros as well as officials looking at these incidents. Yeah.
No, I absolutely agree. I think that's another way of going about it. It's not going to disappear, VAR, is it? Overnight?
No chance. I mean, the likes of myself can say till I'm blue in the face, let's go back to the days of just the referee and the linesman,
Yeah.
But it won't happen.
If we use ex-pros, if they're as bad as Jamie Carragher is at doing Sky Sports, we've still got big problems, haven't we?
Then it's about selection, then, isn't it?
It is, of course, it is. Yeah. And I don't think Premier League footballers will want to get involved with VAR. I think it'll be more League One, League Two. They don't earn as much money as the superstars. That's a kind of job that maybe they could go into after football, potentially.
But in that sort of football, though, guys, you can get away with murder. So
but they know what it's like.
Oh,
because they play the physical game. They understand what it, all that stuff.
I agree with that. I mean, for example, the pundits that we see now, say Gary Neville probably would be all right doing that. You're right. I couldn't envisage Jamie Carragher, being on the other end of VAR. But in the main, I think there should be players who don't have a high profile. I think they should be sort of fairly sort of quiet and reserved and just sit there and be called on to adjudicate on certain incidents.
Yeah, I agree.
But those, as you say, Baz, those who've been involved in the rough and tumble of professional football.
Yeah, exactly. Brendan, we'll be speaking about Sunderland tomorrow night as we do on Mackems v Geordies. Martin, where are you? I sent the link. I sent the link for all you lads to come on. You said you wanted to come on and you haven't bothered. I'm disappointed. You had a chance to throw your weight around about Haaland and you just didn't do it. But we hope your dad's all right. I know why you're not on. I hope everything's looking up and the operation you said went well. I hope everything's still in good recovery. Right. Let's talk about these two for a little bit because everyone says that Haaland bullied Dan Burn, but the look on his face there, I mean, that doesn't look like that Haaland was bullying Dan Burn for the full 90 minutes of the game. Hi, Martin.
Hiya.
How you doing?
I'm very good. How are you?
Been better, to be fair. Haaland was, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean, he hasn't scored again. It's 9 games in a row now facing Newcastle. He still hasn't hit the back of the onion net.
He was exceptional, Baz. He was exceptional.
Let me finish. He missed a one-on-one, which he should have scored.
No, good save that.
It was a very good save, but he should have scored because he's the best striker in the world, as you keep telling me. But yes, he had a very good game. And it wasn't I messaged you near the end of the game and said you should play him at centre-back when he's playing against Newcastle.
He was everywhere last night. He was right wing, left wing, centre mid, 10. The man was like a beast possessed last night. And I think, the only thing he needed to round his a perfect game off for him was a goal last night. He was really, really good last night. He was, but I enjoyed the game actually last night. It was a very good game. First half, I thought we were really, really good. First half came out with a really good tempo. Played some lovely football. Second half, I think it was just. I mean, a lot of our fans have moaned about it, but I think you did well. I think the referee lost control of the game. I'm not gonna lie. I think both teams should have finished with 10 men. If I'm totally going to be honest with you.
Which one for us? Because some people have said that.
Well,
I thought
Joe Linton. Joe Linton's just an MMA. No, mate, he's an MMA. He was on the pitch for 20 minutes and committed more fouls than all your players combined.
Shall I tell you?
The guy's just an MMA fighter. He's an MMA fighter. He's no footballer.
He's just in a dip of form.
He's just in a
dip of form.
Where is not accurate key passes. Long ball.
When I looked at one, he'd made 6 fouls by the time he'd even on.
6. That's strange because it has 4. 4 according to the statistics all the way through the game. He did 4 fouls when he came on.
He made fouls, but we were saying there should have been more. I was counting them as what should have been.
We have already covered it, and I'm sorry to go back over it again, but I have to ask you: the Dan Burn disallowed goal, with the way the wording is, as the rule is, do you think it's a penalty or not?
No, with the way the ruling is, it should have been a free kick again.
Well, if it's inside the box, it's a penalty.
No, because there was a number. Well, there was about 3 of your players offside when the ball was kicked.
Yeah, but there was only one person who put the ball.
He was in an offside position to begin with.
He wasn't. He was on an onside position.
He was. Look, when the ball's taken, he's already in the offside position.
When the ball's taken, because he's been pushed into that position.
No. Before that, what he done is what every player does. He's offside, then goes to go back onside. But when the kick's taken. And then obviously there's a Diaz push, but I mean, for me, I just think it should have been a retake of the free kick.
I don't think that's in the rules.
We don't know the rules, though. So
no one knows the rules.
We do. It's in black and white.
No one knows the rules.
VAR officials, the referees don't know the rules, Martin. It should have been a penalty. We covered it for 8 minutes, and we all came to the conclusion.
And that's fine. I get it. The
referee was poor. He really was. By the way, great save by Donnarumma in the last minute. I mean, if
the only thing he did.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, really.
I
think the save from Willock early on. I think the Willock ones are quite a standard save.
Gordon?
Not really. So I don't think the Ramsey one was a penalty. I think he got the ball.
What, the one from behind?
No.
Oh no, he never touched the ball, mate. I was fuming with that. Fuming. He never got.
At the end of the day, mate, I think I think City played well. We did our job. I think we were the better team, and we won. That's the way I look at it. We got out. I said it'd be tough.
It was tough.
Got out of dodge. We were done.
Yeah. You held on.
Walter Mardo. My God, I'm sorry. I don't know what you paid the money for.
Oh, I'm not going to go.
He's absolute donkey.
No,
he's a
donkey. Tonight. But did you see him in the last 2 games for the full 90 minutes?
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Exactly. This is what I mean. This consistency.
You give me Carabag. Give me Carabag.
No. 2 games, mate. You missed out Villa as well away in the FA Cup. Consistency is the issue at the moment. He will get there. And not every single player who comes from Germany hits the ground running, and sometimes it can take a season. So, anyway, there's the league now. Obviously, you're still that 5 points behind because Arsenal did the business against Spurs today. You've still got a game in hand. We are languaging 11. Yeah, nothing's really changed for us. Obviously, we're -1 and dropped 1 place, but we're still ahead of Sunderland, so that helps. Liverpool getting a snappy last-minute winner didn't help our chances of getting near that top 6 or 5, which I think is probably out of reach anyway. I think top 8, maybe 8, 7th or 8th, I think is probably where we could end up this year if we put a big run together. But I just think we should put all our eggs in the Champions League basket, to be completely honest with you. But to be honest with you, it's nice to go to the Etihad. It's nice to finally score a goal because it's been a long time since we've done that. It was nice not to get embarrassed like we have done the last few times. I did say on the show the other night, Mamouche, horses for courses. I thought he had a good game in the first half as well. He caused a lot of danger. I'm not surprised that he started. But the big question is, Martin, are you going to win the league?
Yeah, I think we will.
Yeah. Thanks, Ian. I really appreciate that, Matt. I really do. Let's get a non-biased voice in here, Mr. Elton. What do you think? Who's going to win the league? Putting your neck out on the line.
Well, before the Arsenal game at Tottenham this afternoon, I was thinking that City might do it, but Tottenham were very, very poor again, which I didn't blame Thomas Frank, to be honest with you. Their injury list is chronic. So I wasn't surprised that Arsenal won there this afternoon. I thought had they bottled it, as has been a lot of gooners have been saying they bottled it when they threw away the 2-0 lead at Wolves. I don't believe they did, but there's still a way to go in this. City have got a game in hand, and it's fascinating. I'd like to say City. I would very much like to say City, but I've got a funny feeling Arsenal might just find a way to hang on.
Ooh, that's interesting. Scott, what's your thoughts on that?
I've said it for weeks. City. I've said it for weeks. Do you know what it is? Until it is mathematically impossible for City to win any league, you don't count them out. As long as Pep's at the helm, I've got City all the way.
I think City will do it. But Arsenal did answer a lot of questions today, going away to Spurs in a London derby and putting them to the sword the way they did. Yes, again, another referee blunder because it should have been 2-2. And that might have
Arsenal still
different
got to go to
story.
the Etihad though, and that's where
That's
I think City put them to the sword and did 3 points.
I've seen loads of games like that, and it always ends up 0-0.
If City have to win at the Etihad to win the league, they'll win.
How many games are left after that game? Is it right near the end of the season, or is it coming soon?
No, there's about 4 or 5 games left.
Right.
It's a thing. I just think we can kill because that Arsenal. You see, it depends when this Palace game comes in. Because if we get the Palace game before then, we can go top of the league if we beat Arsenal.
Right.
What's Man City's fixtures like from Arsenal and Palace? Who have we got?
We've got Leeds next, which will be tough. Under the lights at Ellen Road is always tough.
It will be.
Then we've got Forest at home midweek, West Ham away, and then we've got the League Cup final.
Which I think
he'll have a bearing as well. I think that League Cup final will have a bearing as well. So I just listen. People might think I'm mad, but I just think when Pep and City get daylight, and they can see that it's in their hands, they tend to put the accelerator down.
I don't disagree with that. I just think Arsenal, if they get,
I think yesterday was a massive 3 points for us. Because the one thing I saw is yesterday we hadn't seen in a long time was I think we out-battled you, which I haven't seen us do in a long, long time. I've not seen us out-battle teams. I thought we were very, very... I think that extra man in the midfield has really helped us now with Nico O'Reilly going in there. It again was brilliant yesterday. I think Rodri was low-key phenomenal yesterday. He's getting back to the old Rodri now.
That's scary.
So Haaland looked hungry yesterday. Foden, when he came on, even though he only did about 6-7 minutes, looked like he had a point to prove when he come on. So, these players have been here and done it before, and they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Right, guys, right at the end of the show, if you need something to read, please go and grab Elton's book, Game for a Laugh. It's absolutely fantastic. It's in Amazon. You can get it on hardback, like I've got. You can get it on audio. Because it's on audio, Elton. I can't remember if you said it was or not.
No, it's not. There's only the paperback and Kindle. That's all we do.
Kindle. That's the one. I'm not into that fancy Kindle thing. But I've read it. It's a brilliant book. Great stories in it. Me and Elton will be back at some point to talk about George Best. I have. Unfortunately, because of work and stuff like that. And obviously next week we've got our big charity do. So I'm obviously going to be back up home, sorting that out for the 27th of February. It's basically Friday. It's coming so quickly. I have got great news that Supermac has got rid of his illness. He's fought it off as the true number 9 he is. So he will be there on Friday with Gibbo. And then myself, Dan and Graham Bailey will be having a chat about behind the scenes stuff, find out what's going on for the summer window, things like that. So £15 per person at Newcastle Benfield Football Club. It's going to be an amazing night. Get yourselves down. All the money is going to 2 charities, which is Azure and the Butterwick Hospice. Every single penny. No one's taking a fee for this, not even the venue, which is incredible. So hopefully we can raise as much as we possibly can for it. And hopefully Martin's going to be there.
Yes, hopefully. I'm still it will all be dependent on my dad. But touch wood, I'll be there.
There we go. Right, thank you, everyone. We will be back tomorrow night. We will be hosting the Mackhams for the Geordies v Mackhams show. That's going to be very interesting with some of the pictures I've got lined up for them and some questions. I can't wait for that. Thank you to Elton again for coming on. It's always great to have him on. Martin, thank you for popping on last minute, even though you're supposed to send this to all the boys in the room and to come on and have a chat.
I did send it on. I did send it.
None of them turned up. Tell them I'm not happy. Thanks to Scotty as well.
I'm sure we'll lay it back.
You better. But pleasure, everyone. It's a shame the weekend's over. Enjoy work. I'm going to be there as well. So take care, everyone.
Cheers, man.